We turn now to Zambia and a court case involving the Post newspapers and freedom of the press. One of the defendants in the case, Muno Ndulo, is a law professor at the Cornell University here in the United States. He joins us now by phone from Ithaca, New York. Welcome, Professor Ndulo.
Thank you.
Now, the last information I have is that journalist Kabwela is being charged in court for distributing pornographic material, and that you and the editor-in-chief of the Post newspaper, Mr. Membe, been cited for contempt. Now, what's all this about?
Well, the whole thing is about an article that I wrote, with which I criticized the prosecution for bringing the case, and also criticized the president for having directed, more or less directed the police to arrest Chancer. And then this article was published in the Post newspaper, and the magistrate then took the position that this was contempt of court.
Now, as a lawyer, enlighten us, how did you get to be in contempt of court, knowing that the prosecution, in fact, is asking the court to charge you for contempt of court, not the court taking their prerogative to cite you for that?
I actually believe that the article is not contemptuous. If you read the article, you find that it praises the judges, says that there's a good judiciary and that have trust in them. But I pointed out that this case was giving the country a bad name. It was a complete waste of resources, and there's no need. I mean, there is no need to proceed with it. And in any case, I mean, Zambia does not have a jury system. So we make the assumption that the judges cannot be influenced by anybody.
Now, in fact, unless somebody's a pervert, looking at the image itself, what in your take should have been the focus? Here's a woman lying down, could die, a baby dies. What should have been the focus of those government officials who received these images? In
my view, actually, I mean, I wouldn't, of course, have distributed that kind of photo. And I also contend that, Chancer did not really distribute. She sent it, as you rightly said, to some officials who are in charge of health matters, but also including the vice president. And my view was that the pictures were bad, but were shocking, but you're trying to make a point, and I think those in power should have responded by trying to end the strike so that the sort of things that were depicted in the photos doesn't happen.
Now, given that there was some impropriety in this particular distribution of the images, as a lawyer, without necessarily telling the court which direction to take, what do you think ought to have been done or should be done in view of the message that was being conveyed, but also in preservation of the freedom of press in Zambia? Yeah,
I think that's it's very, very important that we look at this issue really, and it is Chancer and not me and the editor, because I think she's the one in more trouble for that. And I felt that, of course the press sometimes makes mistakes, but it is so important to have the checks and balances from the press. You cannot have a vibrant democracy if the press is not independent.
Very briefly, what's your take on the president himself, in fact, directing that the police take action against this young lady?
Yeah, that's, in my view, I think the president acted unpresidential, because given the separation of powers and the need to strengthen our institutions, the police, the prosecution, and the courts, there was no need for him to comment on a case like that. Because in a system like prevails in most African countries, including Zambia, this thing of patronage, if a president expresses a view, the tendency of the institutions that are below is to carry out the president's word. They compete to do that because this is the way they get promoted.
Well, thank you very much. That's Professor Muno Ndulo of Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.